Super senior is a term being heard more frequently these days. Many students are finding it more difficult to graduate in just 4 years. We sat down with the head of the Department of Mass Communication, Matt Baker, and 2 fifth-year seniors to discuss why.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do think that there are a number of students in our department that are graduating in 4.5 and 5 years, which is obviously different than what the standard thought is, that you go to college and graduate in 4 years. But I would say it's not unique to our department, and I would say that in fact it's probably becoming the norm across the nation that students are taking a little bit longer than 4 years to graduate.
While some are okay with this shift, others feel trapped, like Darlene Deno, a super senior studying fine arts.
I think if they know what they're doing when they first get into college, which who knows what they're doing when they first get into college, then they can probably get out in 4 years. But the way the system is starting to work, I feel that they're trying to keep kids here longer, so they're not being as lenient with credit substitutions, or, you know, if they switch majors last minute, there's nothing you can do, you're going to be here forever. So, yeah, I think it's becoming more common.
Deno says the hardest part about being a fifth-year senior is the loneliness.
What is it like being a fifth-year senior? Dumb. No one is here anymore.
Others, like Sarah Mormon, also a fine arts student, have embraced the extra time and see it as a benefit.
I stayed an extra semester in Maryville at Northwest, because I didn't decide until later my major, which I think benefited in the long run because I got all the core education classes out of the way early on, and then in my last couple of years and then the last semester I was able to focus on my major and being a creative, just trying to get everything done and getting my best work together for my portfolio and focusing more on academics than maybe the social aspect of being in school.
While Deno and Mormon don't see eye to eye on what it's like academically, they agree that staying behind is incredibly lonely.
The hardest part of being a fifth-year senior was losing my friends that had been there the first 4 years. Everybody kind of moves out of Maryville and things move on. It's hard to go back and miss it because it's not the same Maryville that you left. I was in a sorority, so my whole pledge class was gone, and I had kind of grown up with them through those 4 years. My best friends are not even, didn't really they weren't in any of my clubs or any of my classes, so I think finding out that they were gone allowed me to meet more people within my department and within my organizations and kind of branch out a little bit, which I think is good.
Baker says that ultimately, the time a student spends at Northwest should be decided upon by the student.
It's kind of an individual thing, and that's what I've tried to do as an academic advisor, and I think all of our folks here in the Department of Communication and Mass Media do as advisors. They look at each student on an individual basis and try to help them evaluate where they need to be academically based on their financial needs. Sometimes it's a social need, but also their abilities as a student and as a person.